In the north of the Gaza Strip, the operation of Israeli troops on the territory of the Al-Shifa hospital has come to an end. In 2 weeks, the Israelis eliminated more than 200 militants and detained about 1,500 people. At the same time, IDF airstrikes continued, but at a lower intensity than last week. In turn, Palestinian groups responded by firing mortars at Israeli positions. At the same time, Hamas militants again launched missiles on Israeli border localities. Air defense intercepted most of the missiles, but there was minor damage to the road surface in Sderot. Humanitarian aid drops continued throughout the week in the north of the enclave. However, in Beit Lahia, the drop once again resulted in deaths and injuries. In the central part of the Gaza Strip, Israeli troops launched another series of strikes on Hamas-controlled localities. A series of hits hit Nuseirat, where more than a dozen civilians were killed during the week. Israelis mistakenly attacked 2 vehicles carrying members of a humanitarian organization on a section of the Al-Rashid highway. The strike killed 7 people, including 6 foreigners. The IDF expressed its condolences and apologized for the incident. To the southwest of Deir al-Balah, Israeli units became active on the Salah al-Din highway. Palestinian forces ambushed the IDF. After this, the IDF withdrew to their original positions. A few days later, the Israelis attempted to advance on the opposite side. Hamas militants reported an attack on IDF armored vehicles, after which the clashes stopped. In the southern Gaza Strip, Israeli forces continued to fight in the vicinity of Al-Amal Hospital. The IDF command reported the elimination of several militants and the destruction of Hamas infrastructure. Rafah also remained under heavy fire with daily Israeli strikes. In parallel, the Israelis continued to prepare for an offensive on the city. In the West Bank, police operations continued unabated in several localities. During the week, more than 170 Palestinians accused of being Hamas supporters were detained. The most violent clashes broke out in Tulkarm, where Syria al-Quds militants were active. Several exchanges of fire took place in the town and surrounding villages, resulting in a number of fatalities. Anti-government demonstrations continued throughout the week in Jerusalem. Protesters demanded early elections and a deal with Hamas. In one day alone, some 10,000 people took part in the rallies. Zeba Abdel Salem Haniyeh, the sister of Hamas Politburo chief Ismail Haniyeh, was arrested in the southern Israeli town of Tel Sheva. Various documents were found in her home, as well as cash and gold bullion. In the neighboring city of Beersheba, a man attacked soldiers with a knife at the central bus station. 2 IDF soldiers were injured. The attacker was killed in retaliatory fire. A similar terrorist attack occurred in the town of Gan Yavne, east of Ashdod. 3 people were injured, one of whom died from wounds. The militant was eliminated. Meanwhile, Israel's very south has twice been hit by drone attacks launched by pro-Iranian proxies. On Monday, a UAV hit the military naval base in Eilat, damaging one of the buildings. The next day, another drone landed nearby on the Israeli-Jordanian border. Ramon Airport is a couple of kilometers from where the drone landed, and Eilat is a little further away. On the northern border, the usual strikes by the 2 sides against each other's positions continued throughout the week. Hezbollah and the IDF reported daily on the destruction of enemy targets, but this time there were no high-profile hits.